Democratic presidential candidate Bernie Sanders has a unique vision for the American economy. He sat down with John Harwood for a wide-ranging interview. John asked the senator, who calls himself a Democratic socialist, if it's his goal not to have private corporations.
No, that's not my intention.
Okay.
What is my intention, though, is to make sure that workers have representation on those large corporations. So we say that instead of just being a cog in a machine, what about giving that worker some power and responsibility in terms of the shaping of that corporation?
On your corporate accountability plan, on Wall Street reform, you say you want to end the too big to jail.
Yep. Give me three examples of this. In 2008, when Wall Street drove this country into the worst economic recession in modern history, as a result of that, Wall Street has paid tens and tens of billions of dollars in fines for their illegal activity. It wasn't a mistake. Everybody makes mistakes. They were selling subprime mortgages that they knew were worthless. How many of these Wall Street executives went to jail as a result of their illegal behavior?
I don't think any.
No. All right. And that is why the American people are disgusted with what goes on in Washington, D.C. I'll give you another example. Pharmaceutical industry, they're not only greedy, they are corrupt. They are engaged in collusion and in price fixing. Right now, as you know, states' attorneys general are mounting a massive lawsuit against the opioid manufacturers. And what they are saying is these guys knew exactly what they were doing. How do we describe the behavior of the fossil fuel industry? Let's take a look. For a very long time, ExxonMobil, the executives at ExxonMobil and other fossil fuel industries knew that the product that they were producing was causing climate change and, in fact, helping to destroy this planet. So what I'm saying here is we need, as a nation, to do something we have never done before, and to say to these corporate executives who have so much power that we're tired of your greed and we are tired of your corruption.
If you require that 45% of the board be workers, if you require more distribution required distribution of profits to workers, if you ban stock buybacks, do you accept that that would have a slowing effect on economic growth?
It's not good enough just to look at economic growth. In the last 45 years, despite unbelievable growth, in real inflation accounted for dollars, the average worker is no better off than he or she was 45 years ago. Half the people today are living paycheck to paycheck.
No, growth is the wrong measurement.
Of course it's the wrong one. What the question is our economy working for the people here? Is it working for ordinary Americans? That's the criteria.
Would it be your intention to appoint Democratic socialists to big positions in your administration?
You're going a little bit too crazy on the word here.
Okay.
All right. I will appoint people who believe in the working class and the working families of this country, who are prepared to stand up to the incredibly powerful corporate interests that today dominate our economic and political life. So when I talk about democratic socialism, you want to talk about, what does it mean? Let's be clear, what does it mean? Let's not get people overly nervous about it. What it means is that healthcare is a human right. Not a very radical idea. We are the only major country on earth that does not allow that reality to take place. I live 50 miles away from Canada. You end up in the hospital with a major procedure in Canada. You know how much you pay when you leave that hospital? Zero, not a nickel. And they spend 50% per person on healthcare as we do. That's what I believe in.
John also asked Senator Sanders about his health following his recent heart attack. The senator says he is doing well.